Hey guys, greetings for the day. Today we are going to discuss about the difference between static allocation and the dynamic memory allocation. Okay, already we have discussed enough about static memory allocation and the dynamic memory allocation. Now we are going to discuss about the difference between these two, and we are going to find which is suitable at what time. Okay, so let's have a recap over what is static memory allocation and what is dynamic memory allocation. Finally, let's find the difference between these two methods. Okay, static memory allocation refers to the process of allocating memory for a variable at the time of compilation. Okay, so during the compilation itself, the variables will get memory. Okay, so the whatever memory allocated during the compilation will not change during the runtime. Okay, so all the variables are allocated with the memory during their compile time. Okay, so the advantage of allocating memory during compile time itself, it's faster. Okay, so we need not to wait. Okay, so everything's settled. Okay, so memory is allocated for the variables and everything, so that the execution will be faster. Okay, so during the execution we need not to bother about the storage. Okay, for example, here is a example program where we have the variable like I, and then we have a function where a variable called x is there. Okay, all these get their memories during the compile time itself. Okay, when we compile the C code itself, so all the memories are allocated. Okay, in case of dynamic memory allocation, okay, variables get memory only during the runtime. Okay, so only when the runtime, so the memory is allocated. Okay, so when the memory is allocated, okay, so address of the starting address of the allocated memory is returned. Okay, so and hence dynamic memory allocation need a pointer variable to handle it, to store the address that's returned by the dynamic memory allocation process. Okay, to assist this dynamic memory allocation process, we have four methods, namely malloc, calloc, realloc and free methods. Okay, let's see what is malloc. Malloc stands for memory allocation, which is used to allocate memory of particular size. Okay, so if you want to allocate 10 bytes of memory for storing integers, you can use the syntax malloc of 10 into size of integer. Okay, integer size of int may be 2 or 4. Okay, modern compilers use 4 bytes of memory. Okay, yeah. So the next method is calloc. Calloc method is used to allocate memory of memory continuously. Okay, so that's the difference between malloc and calloc. Okay, in calloc, C stands for contiguous memory allocation. Okay, so that's the difference between malloc and calloc. Nothing else is the difference. And here is the example which uses calloc method. Okay, so here we are allocating calloc method and allocate memory for storing characters. A continuous memory is allocated. Okay, and the next method is the free method. Free method is used to reclaim the allocated memory. Okay, so it just frees the memory. Okay, so the syntax is free of the pointer variable. Okay, so pointer variable is a variable that holded the address when the memory is allocated. Okay, so here you can see the seed syntax. Okay, so free method is defined here. Okay, so where it frees up the memory. Okay, okay, realloc method is a different method. Okay, so which is used to alter the already allocated memory. Okay, so whenever if we wish to reallocate the memory, or when we feel that the allocated memory is not enough, if we want to alter, we can use the realloc method. Okay, so already calloc malloc functions would have returned a pointer variable, right, address, right, address of the allocated memory. That address needs to be passed to this realloc method as a first parameter, and the new size is the second parameter. So this realloc method will alter the memory size. Okay, thank you. Then here is the example where malloc function allocates certain amount of memory. Okay, so after some time we just reallocate. Okay, so malloc allocated memory starting address is stored in the variable ptr, which is passed here in realloc function as first parameter. Okay, the new size is passed as second parameter. Okay. Okay, here is the difference between the static memory allocation and the dynamic memory allocation. Okay, we can go through all the points. The first and foremost difference is, okay, in case of static memory allocation, okay, memory is allocated permanently till the program ends. Okay, so the memory allocated permanently. Whereas in dynamic memory allocation, okay, only when the program runs the allocation is active. Okay, so in case of static memory allocation is done before the program starts its execution, but in case of dynamic it's done only during the execution. Okay, fine. It uses stack for, okay, static memory allocation uses the stack for maintenance of the memory, allocated memory, whereas dynamic memory allocation uses heap concept. In case of static memory allocation, once the memory is allocated, it cannot be changed during its runtime, whereas it can be changed in case of dynamic memory allocation. And in case of static memory allocation, it's done during compile time, but dynamic memory allocation is done during its runtime. Static memory allocation is generally used for arrays, whereas dynamic memory allocation is used for linked list. Okay, hope you guys understood what is static memory allocation and how to allocate memory during compile time, and what is dynamic memory allocation, and different methods which are assisting dynamic memory allocation concept, syntax of those methods, and how to use the methods in the program in C programs, and the difference between static memory allocation and the dynamic memory allocation. If you have any doubts, you can ping me and get clarified your doubts. Okay, thank you guys, thanks for watching. Good day.